rather cut teachers than hold transnational tax cheats accountable. Here's a hint. Follow the money. And why are these banksters making all this money anyway? I mean, it used to be that banks were utilities. You know, bankers, we used to talk about bankers' hours. You know, bankers' hours was 10 a.m. to 4 in the afternoon. And most bankers actually kept those hours. You know, they were well paid, but they weren't super well paid. It was a nice, dull, boring job. The image of a banker was a guy wearing green eye shades, keeping numbers, and you know, that kind of thing. The local bank, the community bank, it was a boring business. It was predictable. It had, and it was predictably profitable, actually, but the profits were low. As kids, we learned this playing Monopoly. Remember, you land on a bank, and it's like, well, it's like the utilities. You know, it's the utilities. They just stay at $200 every time you go around. It's not like Marvin Gardens. And then along came, and that's, by the way, how it was in America for a long, long time, for like, you know, a couple hundred years. And then along came Congressman, or Senator actually, Republican Senator Phil Gramm, and his wife Wendy, who was on the board of directors of Enron Corporation. And Ken Lay said to Phil Gramm, "Phil, you got to get some legislation passed for me. You got to unbundle or break up the way that commodities are regulated, Commodity Future Modernization Act, and you got to make it so that the gambling banks, the investment banks, and the regular, normal, we're putting our savings account here banks, the commercial banks, that they can get into bed with each other. Break the firewall that was put there in 1935 by Glass-Steagall to prevent a Great Depression or a bank failure from ever happening." Keep in mind, the period from 1935 to 1986, to the middle of the Reagan administration, when Reagan deregulated the S&Ls, was the first time in the history of the United States that we went more than 15 years, literally since George Washington, the first time that we went more than 15 years without a major panic or bank failure. It's incredible when you think about it. And then Phil Gramm gets in and puts in these two pieces of legislation in 99 and 2000, and all hell goes loose. The banks, now instead of manufacturing in the United States, you know, manufacturing used to account for 35%, 34% of GDP. Right now it's 11%. We don't make things here anymore, except basically weapons. It's really quite startling. So where do we generate our profits? How does America do business? We do business by moving money around. Finance now. Last year, the financial sector accounted for over 35% of all profits in the United States. A sector that should be a utility, a sector that should be a little 2 or 3%, you know, predictable, boring over there. Because what do banks do? What they do is they help us facilitate business so we can do transactions, and they loan money so that you can grow a company or you can buy a home. And that should be about it. They shouldn't be in the business of gambling, and their being in the business of gambling is, frankly, putting this country at risk.